Steve Tsai. Steve is a good friend from many years. He's also seen the industry from multiple points of view, working with Deluxe, and he was the business director of DCI. So he's done a lot of analysis on the economics of digital. And I'm going to turn it over to Steve just to give a viewpoint of the studio perspective of what's involved now. How has it changed in terms of studio operations? And I think Sean Romano from Deluxe is going to follow up with a little more detail on this. But go ahead, Steve, and tell us.
Well, so it's been great. I mean, for us, it's enabled us to make the supply chain a lot more efficient. If you go back to 2002, 13 years ago, when 2001, 2002, when DCI was founded, the world was a lot different, and there was a lot of attempts, and I think generally successful, to make sure this was as future-proof as possible. If you look back then, first there was no digital linear. Digital linear was just starting. It was, we were editing on 35, and you know, by the time 2005 the spec was done, it had shifted very much so digital linear. Now the editing on film is almost non-existent. It's a creative choice that happens when the director wants to do so. Also with that, you know, you're looking at 13 years of Moore's Law, which, you know, every 24 months, I think some people put it 18, I think it's 24, that compute power doubles. So we have 100 times compute power than we did now than back then, which allows us to do more on the effects, on the editing. Everything is faster, more powerful. There's so much more that our creatives are allowed to do. It's a broader canvas. There's so much more you can do, and so much faster that you can do. The other thing that's kind of interesting is in 2002, foreign, because we didn't call it international, back then, it was foreign box office was about the same as domestic, about $10 billion. Now we're at 2.7, 2.5 times, 2 to 3 times more international to domestic. So there is a lot more box office international, as well as a lot more versions, a lot more places we're going to. And in 35 millimeter, to go day and date was an incredibly complex thing for a studio to do, to get the versions ready out into the world, into the deepest places that we can play. Digital makes that a lot easier. And so what we've been able to do is streamline our supply chain to get closer to market faster. We've been able to localize duplication of content, and working with our partners at Deluxe to be able to do as many versions as possible in a very short period of time. I mean, I don't think we recommend that we go to the very last minute to deliver a title, but we're dealing with creatives that are the best at what they do. Film is the art form of expression of today, and these guys are pushing the envelope of what you can see on the screen to see what you can, to give the people a great experience. And a lot of times they're going to the very last minute. I mean, we don't recommend this, but it happens. And so what we do is we try to make everything as efficient as possible. So when the stuff that does happen and you're going the last minute, you want to change a shot, and it makes a difference in a movie, that we're able to get from here to anywhere in the world as fast as possible, version it through sensors into the screen as fast as possible. And I think this is something that these guys at Deluxe, as well as Technical and other of our partners, have been able to do, and just to make this possible.